I'm 15 years old and I've been shooting for almost 8 years. I've also been a part of the Maryland Rifle Club and Maryland State Rifle Team since I was 11. We shoot semi-automatic AR-15s and my personal rifle is a Bushmaster. Because of this, I have become eligible for various shooting scholarships around the country to a wide array of even the most prestigious colleges that have shooting teams. Achieving stricter gun control laws would obliterate any opportunity I could have had to attend a decent college on a shooting scholarship. Ever since I first learned how to shoot, the issue with gun violence around the nation became clear. Guns are not the problem, people are. Purging our society of violence and murder cannot be done through gun control legislation. By signing this legislation, you are not signing away gun violence, but instead liberating American citizens of our constitutional rights. You are not eliminating guns from society, but eliminating our ability to protect our lives, liberty, and pursuits of happiness. Chicago, Illinois has had some of the strictest gun control laws in America enacted for the past few years, and it is currently more than twice as likely for you to be killed in Chicago as in the Afghani War. For the past 11 years and 4 months in the Afghani War, 2,166 people have been killed. Now in only 8 years in Chicago, 4,265 people have been killed, and 3,371 of them were from being shot. Is that really something we want to model our state laws after? Now, even of those 3,371, only 37 were killed with a rifle, which is barely 1%. 98% were killed with a handgun, so creating gun control legislation that targets assault rifles has statistically proven to only weed out less than 1% of the problem if you're lucky. I'd also like to point out that none of the guns used in the Chicago shootings were registered or licensed to the people who use them, thus even further proving that simply restricting guns will not stop criminals from using them, nor will restricting guns stop criminals from harming others in general. On December 14th of 2012, the same day as the Sandy Hook shooting, in central China, a man stabbed 22 children and 1 adult. Guns are not needed for mass murder, and robbing American citizens of our rights to own them won't solve anything. You must also consider the fact that the majority of gun violence occurs in low-income neighborhoods. Raising the overall cost of owning a gun through higher licensing and registration fees denies the ability of low-income individuals to protect themselves against the crime focused in the areas they live in. Passing this legislation would be discriminating against these lower-income individuals who are actually at a higher risk of being victimized in crimes. To abolish or severely limit the right of the Maryland residents as a whole to bear arms, which is the intent of the proposed legislation, is to essentially defeat the purpose of our own U.S. Constitution. The entire foundation of the United States was formed on the principle that the government, our government, is a government of the people, for the people, by the people, and taking away the people's right to bear arms is taking away the people's power in the government. The Second Amendment, which grants to citizens the right to secure their natural rights, is the backbone of our democratic society. I hope you all consider these points as you go to vote on this or any other gun control bills.
Hey, welcome back. It's the gun range. It's only been a couple years. I'm getting to it. Trying to start things back up again, trying to get the show going again. So for the first time this year, I've got some guests. This is John Swenson. He's the president and the owner of the New England Airgun Club. And this is Mike Hardy. He's the match director for the club. And they have a whole bunch of bling right here they're going to show you. And they got some exciting news about a competition they got coming up. So welcome, guys.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah. Thanks, Richard. Thanks for having us.
So, John, what started you off in this path? Who
man.
are you? What's the New England Club?
Long story or short story?
How about the medium
story? It's my wife's fault.
Oh, well, okay.
It really is. I was looking for something to do, and everything I did, she didn't do. So I was looking for a good thing couples could do, and I heard that they did away with the need for a firearms license for an air gun. So I'm like, great, I'll go down Walmart, I'll get myself a nice break barrel, and this is something that we can do together. And because we never had something to do together. Mm-hmm. So went down, got it all wrapped up, put it up in the attic. everything's great. I have a surprise Christmas present for her. Because actually what I did is I overheard her talking to a friend about a real estate transaction, and as a thank you, her client took her out skeet shooting.
Oh,
and
cool.
she loved it. So I never knew she liked to shoot. So wrap it back around again. I got the gift, everything's great, and then the shooting at Sandy Hook School happened. Our only place to shoot is in the woods behind the elementary school. Can't do that anymore. So I started going around to all the local gun clubs, the sportsmen's clubs, and I didn't go around. I called, left a message, long message, please get back to me. Got no calls back. Christmas came and went. She's ecstatic. She's got this toy. She
Great.
wants to go out and use it. Too cold, so gave me more time. I went out, visited the clubs, and I got the same thing at every club. No firearms license, no access to the range. I'm like, we shoot the same lead. There's no difference there. And they're like, nope, no firearms license, no access to the range. I'm like, where there's a problem, there's a solution.
Yeah.
I'll open up my own range. So that's how New England Airgun began, with my wife's fault. And a little bit of blood, sweat, and tears kept my full-time job forever.
Yeah.
And worked this nights and weekends, and gave everybody a place to come and shoot.
Cool.
So really kind of
So
cool.
where are you located?
In Hudson, Mass.
Oh, nice.
So
Do you have a website or a Facebook page you can share?
mostly we do have Facebook, but mostly it's the website, NewEnglandAirgun.com. We're a little split personality. NewEnglandAirgun.com it's an information page, kind of like a brochure. We put ads and stuff up on it. NewEnglandAirguns.com is the store. So if you want to buy something, you can go there, and there's links to go back and forth between the two, but it's
Nice.
a little bit different. And
How long have you been in business?
10 years. We started on Friday the 13th. My lucky day, my lucky number. And
Nice.
it's been great ever since. It's been a learning curve, and
Oh, yeah. Welcome to business ownership.
yeah, and I started off with, I couldn't afford anything, so started off 3 pistols, 3 rifles, 1 for people to rent in the range and 2 to sell.
Yeah.
And it's built up to, we have a full stock inventory. You can see some of the guns that we have over here. We've got starter guns all the way up to high-end competition guns. And
Nice.
that,
Yeah, you guys, the pictures, the video for the show, it does not do these things justice. They're just works of art. And I can't wait to go to the place and rent out one of these and try them out for myself. That looks just fun. Absolute fun.
yeah, what you should do is visit us at the out in Granby, Mass. In October, we're going to have an international shooting competition.
Oh, terrific. Now, you're the match director for that, right?
I am. So I've actually worked with a different company prior, and was a director of operations for bench rests and a couple other disciplines for competition up at 6 Hour that happened the past 2 years.
Okay, good.
Obviously with air guns, and now this time I left there, and now John decided to give me a call, and now we're going to do this, and we're working to put together what will be the largest competition for air guns in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. Currently, the largest one is in Utah. Last year, 21 different countries were represented there.
Wow.
So this is a worldwide community, a worldwide sport. It's built a gathering and a following that is almost second to none at this point.
Kind of like the Olympics kind of screams out in my head with all that. Wow. So what's the course of fire for an air gun competition?
So there's actually 4 disciplines that we're going to focus on. We have the 100-yard bench rest. Seems pretty simple.
100 yards.
100 yards.
With a pellet gun.
Except for you're shooting the targets the size of the top of a big pen. Last year, I was in the competition. It was 34-mile-an-hour crosswinds with heavy downpours, and we're still hitting 10Xs. So the max score is 250. Someone actually in the middle of all of that scored a 240, so these guns are extremely accurate. We're going to do a speed. Sounds exactly what it is. Shooting steel targets. First person
Beautiful.
wins. Second one is going to be called Precision Shooter Challenge. That is shooting off of objects or positions that are not a formal shooting stance. So that could be shooting off a 50-gallon barrel or shooting from inside an up-armored vehicle at different distances, which means that you could go from 20 yards all the way up to 250 yards in one course of fire, in one little match. And the last one, which is everyone loves, is Big Bore. Big Bore starts, it's going to be roughly, I can't tell the distances right now, but we're going to be anywhere from 80 yards out to 800 yards. And those start
With an air gun.
with an air gun with 142 foot-pounds of energy at the muzzle. So these things can reach out. So usually we're shooting 308s to 457s to 510s all the way up to that distance.
Wow, 800 yards.
Yes.
800 yards. Not your dad's Daisy Red Rider.
No, not at all. So now I'm curious. Do you guys do like pneumatic shotguns at all or anything like that yet?
They do have them.
Yeah.
Not too many companies have them,
a
but
friend of
they
mine-
are there.
Unfortunately, his license was paused for a little bit, and he was an avid hunter. And he had gone out and he had bought himself a pneumatic shotgun. I'm like, I never even heard of one. And I'm just amazed within the last 10 years or so. I'm not much of an air gunner, but I keep my ear to the railroad track. And I'm like, wow, within the last 10, 15 years, this discipline of firearms or whatever you want to call it is grown. Well, look at it.
Yeah.
Those things are just...
The shooting sports are the shooting sports are the shooting sports. And it's just, we're using a different propulsion. The ammunition, if you can see it on the camera here, these are anywhere from 177 up to 72 caliber rounds for air guns.
Wow, that's
So-
cool.
Most of your smaller calibers are pellets. They look like badminton birdies, shuttlecocks.
Oh, yep.
And then now they're starting to, when you get into the bigger ones, they're looking like the head of a bullet. There's no shell, there's no gunpowder. It's just what you see here.
I remember a friend of mine asked me, because I cast my own too, and he's like, oh, you got any 357 heads? Okay, yeah. I was, oh, I can put them in my air gun. You
Yep.
what? And he showed it to me, and I'm like, it was just amazing. It's just throw in a regular bullet head, and it's going to launch it. And I was like, wow, that's really cool.
Don't try that with copper jacketed.
Oh,
The full lead will work, the copper jacketed will be too tight.
oh wow, okay. Yeah. Oh, mine are powder coated, so he had no problem with it.
Yeah.
And the powder coat must be soft enough to be able to go through it.
Oh, yeah.
Wow, very cool. It's I'm scared looking at all these guns. I'm just sitting here staring right at them, going, "Oh, this is a bad thing for me." Oh,
This
geez.
could be fun.
Oh, it's just amazing. It's just amazing.
And Mike, why don't you tell people like about this one a little bit? Because this one here it's really kind of neat. You don't see a tank on it.
Oh, that's true.
Yep.
Yeah.
So that's actually it came out now about 2 years ago. That's the FX DRS Pro. That's a 700 millimeter barrel. The air tank for that, as John mentioned, is actually wrapped around the actual barrel of the gun. So that helps with the stability of the liner that's inside there. The plenum, which looks like the magazine, is actually the reservoir where air comes from there and then is basically distributed up into the actual action. When you squeeze the trigger, the round comes out. That's actually put in a brand new MDT ACC Elite chassis. That's the same chassis that you can put on your Remingtons and any other competition grade firearm. They actually now modified it and is now using for an air rifle.
That's cool. That is awesome.
So anything that you could use on a traditional firearm, some of the things that we have there, the scopes, that's a Picatinny rail, that's a normal, anything you'd use for your normal optics can actually be mounted on there. Sitting on the front is a Arca Swiss Accutech bipod, again, so if you're using your Remington inside there, you could actually slap that still on there and that'd work with everything that you'd still have. We use some of the same similar products from even the shooting bags that are up on top of the table, which are made by Armageddon Gear. And we can use those for PRS shooting or just for anything else to prop up the rear of the gun. But all these things are actually interchangeable between an air rifle to even just the normal firearms that you'd see every single day that people are familiar with.
And we were just discussing off camera here that these things are whisper quiet, right?
So
They can.
they can be. So if you have a big bore, I'm going to tell you right now, they're not whisper quiet. Those 457s definitely come out with a good solid bang. But the 22s, the 30 cals even, with the moderators, and a moderator for a lot of people, they'll put it together with a silencer. Though we don't say that because nothing is ever silence. It moderates the sound. It takes it down to a more manageable decibel that you can actually sit and shoot. Or if you're doing hunting or anything else like that, you're actually able to get a second shot off. So even with the 457s, if you have a moderator on there, within 100 yards, you could shoot down a deer. My deer in front of me wouldn't even hear that, and I could still drop a deer. If you're coyote hunting or anything like that, you can take a couple coyotes before they even notice what's going on.
Wow. Amazing, an air gun that needs a suppressor. That's just awesome. That's just great.
Well, they're shooting pretty fast. So even the one that's out there that we're just talking about, the DRS, well tuned, that's shooting over 1,000 feet per second.
Wow.
With a 34 grain slug. So that's definitely come out with some velocity. Even the 30 cal that's next to John, the big one, that's shooting right around 960
I was
feet.
just going to say, talk to me about that real quick.
Yeah.
That looks pretty space age. I like that.
So that's still an FX. That's actually my personal bench gun. So it's sitting with a brand new chassis on it and Air Marksman backbone. It has a higher tank pressure in the front. It still has an Accutech bipod, and it's topped with a Citron S8. Now the S8 can be used in a traditional firearm, just like you would with anything else. But that's my bench gun, as I was mentioned before, at 100 yards. That is, I can actually zoom in and see the full 5-inch target. And as I was mentioning before, with the wind and everything, I can actually see the round cutting through the rain or just cutting through the
that's
wind.
awesome.
And it'll actually come in and actually hit the target where I want it to be. And I can always adjust it with, windage or, elevation as need be. But the glass on there is just some of the best I've ever shot with.
So cool.
Yeah.
So, John, the hours of your store,
Yep.
do they change throughout the year or?
No, we're very consistent with the indoor range. We do it a little bit different. We don't shoot any lead inside, which means it's t-shirt weather year round. So
Nice.
it's cool in the summer and it's
Nice.
warm in the winter.
Ah,
So during
great place to visit.
yeah. So in the during the week we're open to the public from 3 p.m. till 8 o'clock at night.
Oh, that's
And
excellent.
we're open when most people are out of work. And then on the weekends, we open up at 10 in the morning and we close at 6.
All right. Oh, excellent hours for a place like that. Yeah. So, what's your normal customer like? What kind of person are they, and what do they usually either rent or shoot or what like that?
Well, most of like an average customer is probably in their, I'd say, mid-30s. Typically, they'll come in with their kids or their spouse, whatever, date nights.
Oh, that's cool.
We have actually had high school kids from the Boston area.
Awesome.
They will come out prom night, all dressed up for the prom. They don't want to be at the prom. They'll come down and shoot with us.
Awesome.
So it's been really interesting that way. It's like I said, it's something that everybody can do. We have one of the main things that we really focus on is when people come in, get ready for range safety. Doesn't matter what your experience is, 45 minutes of range safety and orientation. So everybody hears the same thing from us, everybody knows the same thing, so if you have to correct the person next to you, they've heard it before. So you can be comfortable correcting people in the range.
Excellent.
We have taught people to shoot from age 3 to 93.
Nice.
93-year-old gentleman from Russia, went through all the wars, they never showed him how to aim. He was weeping uncontrollably on the bench when we showed him how to aim and actually hit a target. He just held the gun and pulled the trigger. He never knew he could aim.
Wow.
One of the benefits that,
It's
that
just-
John was actually just talking about is that the education that goes along with this is a gateway, obviously, into a traditional firearm. But it's also an opportunity, as he mentioned, from 3 years old to 93 years old, to bring people in that normally wouldn't want to be around this because maybe it's too loud or it's too jostling to them. With these, it's not. And to teach them that it isn't something horrible and it isn't something bad and it is controllable and they can make sure they're doing it safely is a huge benefit, especially for air guns, because we can teach that education to people. We can let them understand, these aren't, these horrible objects that people make them out to be. And we can give them that opportunity in the perfect inside door weather that we always have, at which point now they come back and realize that all of these things are a great chance to make new friends, to be a part of a community that it's supportive, that you have people from around the world, and people that basically from a novice to an expert will still come and we'll all hang out together no matter what, because it's almost like a family atmosphere.
Oh, that's awesome.
And a lot of the games, I mean, I get tired of shooting circles.
Yep.
So we've developed a whole bunch of targets that are games.
That's awesome.
So we have Battleship, we have darts. I developed a 9-hole golf course, so people who want to shoot a round of golf, we can actually shoot a round of golf with the air guns.
That's awesome.
And we welcome firearms to shoot a round of guns. It's a target. You can shoot it either way.
Yeah.
And it's strategy games. We have one game that's called 4 in a Row, and it's a lot like Connect 4.
Oh, okay. Yep.
So it's fun, strategy with the shooting, and it's a good time.
Wow. I can't wait to check it out. Oh my God.
Yeah, it'll be awesome to have you come down and check out the place.
And like you were saying, I've been a firearms instructor for like 30 years, and it's getting the people that are sitting on the fence, like the women and children and stuff like that. They're, I want to do this, but I'm intimidated or whatever the case may be is. And when you say, it's an air gun.
We actually go one step further, because we'll actually have people that are afraid to even shoot the air gun.
Yep.
They'll sit outside our range. It's really kind of cool. We have big picture windows down the whole length of the range.
Oh, cool.
You can stand down range and watch people aiming towards you, shooting their targets. But if they're really afraid of even the air guns still, we have laser guns.
Oh, nice.
So they can stand there and they can be like everybody else, and they can pull the trigger and they can see where they're hitting on the target, and there's no noise, there's no recoil, there's no anything.
Baby steps.
So they get comfortable with that.
Yeah.
And then while they're doing that, we can actually do that outside in the hallway. We don't even have to go into the range to do that. And then while they're doing that, we're like, oh, didn't you hear your friend shooting? No, I didn't really hear them shooting. Now they're not so afraid, and they're curious about if they go through that door to the range, how loud is it? And we still have everybody wear hearing protection, but it's
good safety practice.
You can talk, you can have a conversation, you can have fun. You're not really screaming because of all the noise around you. It's very quiet. And
So-
then they go in and they start shooting, and it's not so bad. And they start having fun. And a lot of them have progressed to get their firearms license.
Awesome.
And some have even come back after that and said, well, it's too noisy, it's too loud, I still like to shoot, I'm coming back to the air guns. So
They come back to the air guns and we get them hooked, and then they get into these other ones, and then we come back to all of a sudden they want to be a part of a competition. And there's local matches. I shoot against, actually, in the PRS league, I shoot against 22 LRs with the guns and still do very well.
I
and now
bet.
now we actually have our competition coming up. which will be in October. It's going to be out in Granby, Massachusetts.
Yeah.
So it's
October
right,
15th.
Yep, 15th through the 19th, right off the Mass
All
Pike,
right.
about 10 minutes off the Mass Pike, about 25 minutes north of Springfield. So easy to get to, easy to be a part of. They're the home of the 1,000-yard shot, so they have plenty of land. And it's going to be a great opportunity to basically now bring in New England Airgun from an inside store to an outside facility that's going to have the capabilities of hosting an international competition.
That's awesome.
And
anybody can register for this.
Registration will be opening early July, and there's two different classes. There's the pro class and the sportsman. Sportsman's amateur. So sportsman will only shoot against sportsmen, and pro only shoot against pros. So you have a great opportunity to come. We also have a lot of support and sponsors, and we'll be raffling off guns. We also have cash prizes and a lot of other things.
scopes, bipods.
Scopes, bipods.
Chronographs.
Best way to actually figure this out is to keep track of New England Airgun. On the top, there's actually a little tab that says TBAC, which is the Berkshire Airgun Challenge 2025. All there's the information. Anything you need to know about registration, maps, and anything else you might need is all going to be there with some small videos that we have coming. Anything else that you may want to be a part of. Obviously, you can link back to New England Airgun as well and New England Air Guns and get any more information about any products, anything else you might want to have. And more than welcome to come down. We can set you up with something to have come and compete and win some money.
And they approved us for 2026.
Six.
Awesome.
So it's going to be a multi-year event. We're going to try to have smaller events in the months leading up to it. If you check out our website, the land is very raw right now. They are reshaping the whole place for our competition.
Wow.
The plan is to have it grassed and green for the competition,
Beautiful.
but right now it's mud.
So anybody can even just show up if they're just even curious. Don't even have to shoot. But if they want to just check it out and poke at it with a stick,
It'll be open to the public. Come on down. We're
Yeah.
going to have food trucks available there. We're going to have some other things going on for family activities. We're still working all that out. But there'll be food trucks, the opportunity to see these guns. You'll be able to meet some of the people that have been doing this, some of the YouTubers that are there that have giant
wow.
followings. So I work with them, and I mean, some of their videos, they're getting 40, 50,000 views on their videos. They have hundreds of thousands of followers doing all these air guns and types of shots.
What was the name of the website again? The websites?
NewEnglandAirgun.com or NewEnglandAirGuns, plural.com.
This is a really exciting thing. You guys should check that out. All right, it's about time to go. Thank you very much for watching The Gun Range, and we'll be back soon with more episodes. Have an amazing day, guys.